Mr. Hill, you are a handyman, and you're suing Miss Herx for $1,000 for electrical work you did on her house. Now, after you finished the job, she started making payments, then she just stopped. She wouldn't even respond to your text messages. You felt you had no choice but to sue her. Now, Ms. Herx, you claim that you were making payments in installments until he demanded payment in full, which you couldn't do at that time. Then he started sending you nasty text messages. That's why you stopped paying. Now, also, you claim that the work he did was so bad that you had to hire someone to fix it. That's why you're countersuing him for $3,500. Now, Mr. Hill, why don't you tell us how you got involved in this project at Ms. Herx's house?
She's been a long-term client. I don't remember how I initially met her. It's been some years. I've always came in and completed her more expertise level work.
Okay. Ms. Herx, do you remember how you first met Mr. Hill?
Somebody recommended him to me, and I had called him, and he completed another job at another property that I had. He told me he was a licensed electrician and a licensed plumber.
Now, so, Mr. Hill, tell us about this project.
This particular project is a house occupied by one of her family members. It's tore up, furnace missing, AC missing, holes in the wall, drywall falling down. It's just a mess of a property.
Who's the family member who is living there?
My son is living there at the property. This property was gifted to me by my deceased son. And so my son wanted to live there because my oldest son died, and he wanted to take that property on. And I told him it needed a lot of work. It really does need a lot of work.
What was the job you hired Mr. Hill to do this time?
I hired Mr. Hill to replace the electrical wires that come to the house, the main frame of the house, because the power company said that it was not in code up-to-date standards. So in order for them to turn the power on, they had to update the line that was coming into the house, the main line. So I paid him in full for doing that, and that was done. And then after he completed that, I asked him about the other thing because they were complaining about the breaker switches going off, and also the stove was electrical and it was not wired to be put in. So he wired the stove up, and then he wired the lights in the bedroom and in the bathroom.
Okay, so Mr. Hill, this sounded like a lot of electrical work here. In addition to being a handyman, are you also a licensed electrician?
I am not a licensed electrician, nor a licensed plumber. I've been doing electrical work all my life. My father's an electrician, master electrician, licensed out of Florida. I grew up doing electrical work.
Well, why haven't you gotten a license?
Just, in Georgia, it's required to have verifiable experience, and I've never worked for an electrical outfit other than my father.
So you're saying in Georgia, you're not required to have an electrical license to do the type of electrical work that you did in this house?
Correct. You only need an electrical license when an electrical permit is required. This was repair, not replace.
Well,
She called me because her meter can was broke. Somebody destroyed the meter can, and the electrical company would not, Georgia Power would not hook up power. That was my initial viewing of the property, and I was able to fix her meter can and not required to replace it. I did bring it up to code, installing ground rods and ground wire to the panel, but that wasn't required because it was grandfathered in. If that meter can did need to be replaced, that would have required a permit and a license.
did you finish the job?
The job that I was hired to do was completed.
Okay. Ms. Herx, did he finish the job?
No.
What was left unfinished?
If you look in the exhibit, you'll see that.
Why don't we go to that? What are we looking at here on the screen?
Oh, that right there is the stove where he wired the stove.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And this picture right here?
That is in the laundry room, which is right near the breaker switches where he came through the wall with the wiring and stuff. The electrical panel is right up above there where he put the breakers and stuff.
Okay.
This is the light that I was telling you about, that it's on, but in order to turn it off, you got to unscrew the light bulbs. It doesn't turn, it's not a switch or anything that turns that light on or off.
But is there anything in this picture that shows work that you hired him to do that he didn't do or left unfinished?
No,
Okay.
not there. Just that light that does not function.
Correct.